Hi everyone, we're here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, in Boricua. The internet's a bit crazy. I just had someone come and check it, and I think it's the service provider itself, so it's a bit up and down. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to upload this video today. I might be able to do it subsequently from somewhere else. Anyway, I got in at 11 p.m. ish last night. We had a big delay of the flight. We were sitting on the tarmac for a whole hour, and there was a technical problem on the plane as well. So I've been pursued by technical problems. I myself am a technical problem, technically. Um, yeah, you know, continuing the Buddhist line, clinging to things, attaching to ideas, fixating, none of that gets us anywhere. Object lesson number 2000. Yesterday, on this big peregrinaje that I was undertaking from LA to San Juan, stopping off in Houston, I got it into my head, my noggin, that my clonidine should have been in my carry-on bag, and that for some reason, al descubrir que no estaba, on finding that it was not seemingly there, I became obsessed with the idea that I'd lost it and starting to troubleshoot as to what I was going to do being outside of my own country and having to access the US healthcare system to get a replacement prescription. Like, my mind went through so many tunnels, and honestly, it was all unnecessary. It's the problem-solving mind, I get that, but it comes with its quota of anxiety. Unnecessary anxiety, because the absolute certainty was that I'd packed this fucking bottle, excuse my French, of clonidine in my checked-in luggage. But I had to wait until I got to San Juan to discover that. And there it was, in my checked-in luggage. So all these spirals, it's like an OCD for me sometimes, where you're thinking about, I don't know, like a hypothesis, a conjecture as to what you're going to do in a situation, ends up leading nowhere. Of course, ChatGPT actually gave me some advice, and so I did have some backup on a way to sort of calm down, but oh God. Like, as if the journey itself wasn't tiring enough. My mental spirals. Of course, I did use a little bit of my Buddhist approach, newfound, to scale it down and to go, okay, on the basis of probabilities, it is in your checked-in luggage. And you just didn't remember because you did it fast when you're leaving the hotel, which is exactly what happened. But unfortunately, the incumbent trauma, anxiety stuff means that my system tends to go for the worst. Yeah, and bringing that down and successfully getting through a whole trip becomes itself a bit of an obstacle course. So anyone with anxiety will relate to this. Ironically, I had no access to Valium at that point, but I managed to just bring it down. Yeah, and I did sleep a little bit on the plane. But anyway, needless to say, today's another day, and I'm not in that zone. Everything's kind of fine, besides the internet dramas. But hey, this happened to me at home a week ago as well. There is never a drama that cannot be undone. I've really got to learn from this. I'm being given more examples through my own mental framework of how not to overreact. No one would have known this was going on because, of course, I wasn't like uppity or jumpy, or, you know, it wasn't even noticeable. But it's what goes on in your head sometimes. And now I've just got to focus on being here. It's really humid. And look, this is a beautiful place. People here are just gorgeous, and it's lovely to be here. But I'm a sweater. I sweat out of every fucking pore. Excuse my French again. So I'm staying in the aircon today just to take it slow. I might go out later. Yeah, this is the day before conference begins, and I'm looking over my material, wondering how I got to this point. It's pretty miraculous. And as for a certain someone back home, they've adopted the line of non-engagement, which I can only think is a technique of their own self-preservation, or a way as well to make me feel like I should be doing more from a distance. I can't read someone's mind. I can only know from patterns what's been going on. I have a life of my own, independent of the issues that we've had, and I've been a really good provider all these many years. But I have a life of my own, and I have my own destiny to chase. Well, maybe not chase, but to embrace. That's it. So that's the other thing. I am a woman, hear me roar. Not in the Katy Perry kind of sense, just more that this has been such a big leap for me, not the Maoist leap forward, but physical and social re-embodiment, including as I am, right? Because I'm not your standard issue Barbie doll, and I never was going to be. I was always going to be just me. But this is the real version of me. It's not the one that everyone else wanted. So if you're watching now and you want to write something like anti-trans, me vale madres. I don't give a damn, because I'm just being, and nothing about me gets in your way. It's just about feeling right in your skin. It's not about gender. It's not about even the idea of gender identity. It's just about being right in your skin. If you'd met me when I was a young person, you'd see I'm the same person. I've just become more me, and all the rest of it was a set of layers to try to keep people out and to say nothing going on here. Nothing going on here, don't look. Nothing to see here. And learning to live as myself. All the exhaustion of not being able to do that, of course, has its own toll. And now the adjustments in a world where I'm merely perceived have also their own eccentricities. So going through security in Australia, TSA in the US, perceived as female physically, and called ma'am and the rest of it. This is not something attention seeking. It is merely that in the social register I get to be seen just as I am. And am I goddamn surprised? No, I shouldn't be goddamn surprised. I mean, all of this suggests that the category is excellent. You know, like, I don't have to have fears in that regard, and that certain people have their ideas about who we are, and I'll speak in plural. Can't speak for everyone. That's their stuff. Coming through the US, obviously, you're in this kind of morass of political discourse about our existence and the right to be, even as reflected on ID. And, you know, that's got its own psychological impact. There's so much for us to do, though. We're creative people, we're beautiful people, And as soon as we can live with the full force of who we are, nothing can hold us back, not even the hate, not even the indifference, the miscomprehension. Like trans people get that our whole lives. We get it from the moment that we begin to exhibit characteristics that don't seemingly align with what was decided as our sex. A very superficial reading, I would say. It's not all about body parts, although, it can be a significant source of dysphoria. Speaking personally, it is for me. But it's just nice to move through the world and not get people second guess. Do you know what I mean? Like, being a person of a certain age, I also don't attract much attention. Just standard issue lesbian. For the purposes of moving through the world. It's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. And that brings the reward of finally being able to breathe. It really does. So I'm very thankful. I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be myself. I'm thankful, hopefully, to make a good contribution and meet some good people as well. Yeah, I can't believe that I'm here, and I don't have that much money. Because people don't throw money at me. I have to earn it. It's always been the way. It has. I've always had to work for it, and I keep working. I keep working on myself to be a better person, hopefully. To be more of me with no restrictions. Self-imposed, mostly. Yeah. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.